So I went to the thrift store today, and I found this pot, which I'm very excited. It has a very heavy bottom, so I'm going to be using it to make chocolate milk. It was $7, so I'm very excited. Every time I go to a thrift store, if I find a really good quality pot, I always get them. You know, these are things that you don't see in store anymore. So I always find that it's worth to just pick it up, and even if you have 2 or 3 of them, or maybe no more than 3, but if you do have some at home, it's fine. You will eventually use them. What I've done over the years is whatever pots I've had that are thinner and they're not as good quality, I just switch them out. Also, I found this pot in the thrift store again today. It was only $13. It has a beautiful bottom. So the reason why I like pots with heavy bottoms is, especially if you're making a soup, it's not going to just burn at the bottom. You know, you still have to stir, but you're able to really let it simmer for a long time without having to worry about whatever's in the bottom of the pot burning or sticking to the pot. So that was also a great find. I feel like all my pots in my house are all very heavy. And it's funny because whenever, either if my mom is here and she helps me do dishes, or we have like a family like cooking, everyone's always like, why are your pots so heavy? And I'm just like, I swear they're great pots, they're good pots. But anyways, I actually looked this up on Amazon. On Amazon, they go for $65. So I think $13 is a steal. I got these at Goodwill. There's also one thing too that I think people should be very careful of. The thrift stores are wonderful. They're great. You can find beautiful pieces there. But right now, the thrift stores are also taking advantage of people really, they're kind of trendy right now. They're having a lot of people go in. So a lot of the times their prices is the same price for something you can get brand new. So before I didn't used to Google things. Now I do every time I go, especially if I know it's not something vintage or antique. I will just look it up really quick, and a lot of times it literally might be $1 more to just buy it new. So I am very mindful of that. So one thing I do in my home, I only buy the Corelle plates. I love these. I just love them. They're, right now I have a dishwasher. I used to not have a dishwasher. And honestly, I think it sounds lazy, but the big heavy plates, they kind of hurt your back after a while. And it takes up all the space. These fit so well. They're so thin. They don't crack as easy. They do break. I have broken some, but they don't break as easily as the other ones. So you're not going to be dealing with too many chips on them. And I believe right now, they have them in the thrift stores. Honestly, the same, not I believe, they have them in the thrift store for the same exact price. You can buy them on Amazon. One of these are $5. That is ridiculous. Like, the point of the thrift store is somebody donated that to them. And okay, I understand you need to make some profit, but at least maybe $2, not $5 for a plate. So that's just my little warning. Thrifting is great. You find a lot of good quality things, but just do a quick little search to make sure you're not being ripped off. I have one more thing that I did get today as well. I am just going to show the pillowcase because I'm here. So I got these bed sheets, 100% cotton. I always get 100% cotton for my bed sheets. They're by Color Mat, and I paid $13 for them. Same thing, I opened it up. I made sure there's no stains, no pen marks on them. And if it's cotton, I always grab these as well. I have kids, all of my kids' bed sheets. After a while, someone gets marker on them, pen on it, or they just kind of look a little wonky. So it's not that they're always there. So I already understand that they're not always going to have 100% cotton. So when I do find it and it's in great condition, I will buy them. I will wash it, obviously, fold it, and put it away for whenever it's time to change the bed sheets in the home. Today is hair wash day. I am trying to wear my hair curly more often, give my hair a break, which is kind of silly because I did just cut my bangs. So now I have these silly little bangs sticking out in the front, but that's okay. I just been clipping them back. I just realized I should probably get dinner started, and I'm going to do a one pot meal, which is a moro. That is just pretty much the meat cooked in with the rice, and you stir fry your vegetables, tomato paste, season it however you'd like. I am going to be adding edamame to this meal, which is not a bean I've used before, but I am trying to use different types of vegetables. This year, I'm really working on getting more fiber in our diet. We always eat a lot of vegetables, but I'm just trying to up our vegetable game a little bit more.
Do you recall late summer night? We were moving through the city under broken lights. No plans ahead, just time to wait. Every little promise fading in the haze. Running through the quiet, trying not to fall. Every step reminded we don't know it all.
I love having all my spices behind me. Honestly, in front of me would have been even better, but behind me works great as well. So these are my veggies that I am sauteing. One thing I'm always telling people is saute your vegetables. It makes such a difference in the flavor. And there I am throwing in my seasoned meat that I had frozen. It's a great tip to always have something available whenever you are having a busy day. You just let it thaw out in the fridge. I am working on cleaning up as I go, which sometimes I'm not the best at. So I'm gonna get these dishes done from the morning and just kind of set myself up for success. My daughter washed the rice for me and measured out my water. She has been showing a little bit more interest in the kitchen, which I am happy about. Because it is important to learn how to cook. You know, it is a life skill, and I believe everyone should do that. My younger son actually loves cooking. Sometimes I have to beg him to please let me just cook by myself because he loves the kitchen. But my other kids, they like it. I could probably motivate them a little bit more, but I have a problem where I do tend to enjoy cooking by myself. I also enjoy cleaning by myself. So I have to remind myself that I should be including them in my chores. But it just kind of makes it a little bit harder because I like either putting on music and just getting in the zone and, you know, having your child ask you 100 questions or maybe not doing things correctly and then you having to do it makes it a little bit harder. But that is something that I know I should be doing and encouraging from them. Now the kitchen is clean and the food is ready. This actually came out really good. Everyone in the house liked it. Number one thing I need to accomplish today is watering my plants. I have neglected my plants this year The poor things are struggling. I have probably been watering them maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. So they are struggling. But the good thing is that it is fairly easy to get underwatered plants back into health. If you overwater them, you will be struggling because you will cause root rot. But underwatering is not so bad. Also, the good thing is it is about to be summer. So what I tend to take them outside, they'll grow and be beautiful again. And most likely the next winter, I will abuse them and repeat the process. But I do love my plants. It's just sometimes life gets very busy and they kind of end up in the back part of my mind. It does sometimes take a little while for me to get it accomplished, but I eventually always do, and they always come back into health and always end up looking beautiful again. So it's all right. I am first starting off by cutting off any dead leaves or ripping them off. And one of my favorite ways to water my plants is in the sink. I like doing this method because any dust that is on the leaves gets washed off. You also get to really soak them very well. I'll do one spray, then let it be for about 10 minutes, and then I'll spray them down again. The next time I do water my plants, I do need to fertilize them, but for now, water is just what they need.